The Colt lineup is as follows. Leading off playing shortstop, Ed Casco. At second base, the old American League favorite, Nellie Fox. He's hitting second. Pete Reynolds will be at first base, the next American League batting champ. Jim Wynn, that's spelled W-Y-N-N, in center field in the cleanup spot. Bob Aspromonte at third base, hitting fifth. Johnny Weekly is in right field in the sixth spot. Walt Bond playing left field. He'll be hitting seventh. John Bateman will do the catching, hitting in the eighth spot, and Jim Owen will be doing the pitching. The lineups for the Yankees, Tony Kubek leading off, playing shortstop. Bobby Richardson at second base, hitting second. Roger Maris in right field. Mickey Mantle in the cleanup position, playing center field. Tommy Tress will be in left field, hitting fifth. Johnny Blanchard doing the catching today. Elston Howard getting a rest. Blanchard will be hitting in the sixth spot. And Hector Lopez will be playing third base. And this is the first game that Lopez has played at third base in 2 years. So Hector will be at third. He'll be hitting seventh. Pedro Gonzalez will be at first in the eighth spot. And Bud Daly, as we mentioned before, will be doing the pitching. The umpires for the game, behind the plate, American League umpire Frank Umont. Mel Steiner of the National League at first. Cal Drummond of the American League will be at second. And Chris Pelakudis of the National will be at third. So that's the way the lineups shape up here, as the Colts and the Yankees are just a few moments from getting underway here. This will be the next to the last Sunday that the Yankees will be in exhibition play. They'll be opening the season on April 14th, Tuesday, against the Boston Red Sox. And that'll be the Gala Welcome Yogi Day. Also, on opening day, we'll see the presentation of the American League's Most Valuable Player Award to Elston Howard and World Series Awards, or American League Championship Awards, to the members who are on the 1963 Yankee pennant-winning team. So why don't you make a point of coming on out on April the 14th, Tuesday, to see the Boston Red Sox, Big Dick Stewart, Bill Mamboquette, and many of the other fine stars there, the American League batting champion, Carl Yastrzemski, as the Yanks and the Red Sox open up the 1964 campaign at Yankee Stadium. I have a few notes here that might be of interest to you people as we're waiting for the umpires to come out. The Yankees will be playing an exhibition game at 7:30 p.m. in Denver on Monday evening, June the 8th. And this will be sort of a homecoming for several of the Yankees who played in their minor league days at Denver. Bobby Richardson, Tony Kubek, Johnny Blanchard, and Ralph Terry. They all played under Ralph Houk there when the Denver Bears were in a working agreement with the New York Yankees. And checking this over here, we have Art Fleem Jr., the Yankee ticket representative, will be in the upstate New York area. He'll be opening for the 1964 season tomorrow in Albany, and he can be contacted at the Center Inn or by phone at HE6-7181. So all of you people who are in the Albany area and would like to make plans to attend Yankee Stadium and see one of the games this summer, while you may be also in the process of visiting the World's Fair, contact Art Fleem Jr., and he'll be in Albany tomorrow at the Center Inn or by phone at HE6-7181. Also, when you attend the big Yankee opener on Tuesday, April the 14th, and other Yankee games, be sure to pick up a copy of the all-new Yankee scorecard. It's bigger than ever this year, and up to each series averages of all the players will be in there, and they'll be printed so that you'll have a up-to-the-minute report on how each player is doing on the Yankee ball club. There'll be many other new features as well, and the scorecard still will be only 15 cents. Yep, 15 cents, that's all, so they'll be available only at Yankee Stadium. For you fans living in the upstate New York area, the Yankees are happy to announce, as we just mentioned before, that we'll be bringing you all of these games over our Yankee network. We hope that you enjoy them as much as we enjoy bringing them to you. Now the umpires, along with Yogi Berra, the manager of the Yankees, and Jimmy Adair, who's the coach for the Houston Colts, are congregating at home plate. Head umpire in this game, Frank Umont. Umont has been with the Yankees through most of the spring training season, or at least from the midway mark on. Looks like we're going to have a pretty good crowd here today. And we have had some magnificent weather the last 3 or 4 days. Today, a great day for baseball, a great day to go to the beach, a great day for golf. This is the kind of weather that all of the ball players and the managers who come to Florida like to see. Many times when you run into tough weather in the spring, as we did on our trip to the West Coast when we were headquartering in Tampa, we ran into some rain, 2 days of rain, and then we had some very cool weather. It makes it tough for the manager because it upsets his pitching rotation. And usually the youngsters who are trying to make the pitching staff are those who suffer, and they're set back and lose their turn. So we're back on the good weather beam right now, and the Yankees have taken the field. And there's Bud Daly, who's struggling to regain the form that he had a few years ago and trying to gain a position on this Yankee ball club. Bud actually has to fight for a job. He pitched only 1 inning last year, and that was in the opening game of the 1963 season in Kansas City. It was a very cool day, and something snapped in Daly's arm. Consequently, that led to an operation, and he has been on the comeback trail. He pitched 5 innings the other day and did a pretty good job. So he'll be facing the Houston Colts, Daly and Blanchard throwing it back and forth, getting ready. And we are just about set to go. The first batter will be Eddie Casco, the shortstop for the Houston Colts. I'd like to remind all of you Yankee fans, those of you on our network, as well as those of you in New York, that there's a new starting time on Sundays at Yankee Stadium. For years, it used to be 2 p.m. starting time. Now it's down to 1:30. So those Yankee games will be starting a half hour earlier on Sundays. And also, there are 6 new suburban night games. These will be played on Thursday nights. Single game, 6 o'clock. It'll give you people a chance who are within driving distance of the stadium to come on down, watch a ball game, and get home at a fairly early hour. Suburban night starts 6 p.m. The new Sunday starts 1:30. Regular night games normally will be at 8 o'clock. Now Frank Umont is looking up here. We're about set to go. Coaching at first base for the Houston Colts, Jimmy Adair, and at third base, Luman Harris. Luman Harris has been associated with Paul Richards for many years. He was with him when Richards took over the Orioles. He was with him when Richards was with the White Sox, and when Paul Richards went to Houston, Lum Harris followed with him. There's little Nellie Fox down there, shouting at Eddie Casco, a little encouragement, and we're all set to go now as Bud Daly, the left-hander, on the mound for the Yankees, gets ready to pitch the first ball of this ball game, and here it comes, the curveball way outside to Johnny Blanchard, who picks it off. 1 ball to count. Daly has a fine earned run average so far this spring, 2.08. The 1 ball delivery to Casco is called strike 1, 1 ball and 1 strike. Daly has pitched 13 innings, given up 11 hits, and only 4 runs, 3 of those earned. 8 base on balls and 3 strikeouts, so he's off on the right direction. Daly delivers, Casco swings and fouls it back. Strike 2, 1 ball, 2 strikes to Eddie Casco. Last year, Casco was with the Cincinnati Reds. Played in 76 games, compiled a .241 batting average, had 3 home runs, only 10 RBIs. Right-hand batter, wears glasses. Daly started to pitch and then stopped. Of course, there's no balk in a situation like that when there's no one on. Daly losing his balance, or possibly it was that Johnny Blanchard was not quite ready to receive the ball. Now here's the 1-2 pitch to Casco. It's a knuckleball outside, 2-2 the count. Bud Daly into the windup. The 2-2 delivery to Casco is swung on a miss, strike 3. So Daly starts off with an impressive strikeout over the leadoff batter, Eddie Casco. There's one down. And now here comes Nellie Fox.
The second baseman, number 2, Nellie Fox.
Nellie Fox, the American League's most valuable player in 1959. That was the year the White Sox won the pennant. Boy, what a ball player this fellow's been. Been in the major leagues to stay since 1948. He had a chance in 1946, but only, checked that, 1947, but had only 7 games under his belt. Daly delivers to Fox and backs him off the plate. 1 ball to count. Nellie, one of the great aggressive infielders in the American League for over a decade. This will be his 17th season in the major leagues. Now the 1 ball delivery to Fox. Drilled right at Bobby Richardson at second base. And that ball knuckled out there as Richardson sort of sidestepped it for a minute. It looked like he was fighting it, but he got it. 2 up and 2 down here. Bud Daly moving along nicely. And now here comes Pete Reynolds. Reynolds, who had some great years with the Washington Senators and then the Boston Red Sox, led the American League in hitting at one point. That was in 1960. Fouls one off to the left of third base in foul territory. Hector Lopez getting under it. He's got it, and that takes care of the Colts here in the top of the first inning. 3 up, 3 down. The score after a half inning of play, the Colts nothing. The Yanks coming to bat.
You get a smile every time with a Valentine. Wow, what a beer that's Valentine. You get a smile every time with a Valentine. Wow, what a beer that's Valentine. Beer after beer, love's refreshing around. Won't fill you up, won't let you down. So get a smile every time with a Valentine. Get a smile every time. Make it Valentine's Eve.
In the last half of the first inning, it'll be Tony Kubek leading off for the Yankees. This ball game just getting underway here in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, under beautiful, sunny, balmy skies. No score. Kubek, a .255 hitter thus far this spring. He's got 14 for 55. None of the Yankees have been carrying that hide off of the ball. They're batting .207 as a team. Yesterday, they came up with 9 runs, 5 of them in the 9th inning, to defeat the Chicago White Sox. Now Jim Owens, the right-hander on the mound, delivers a fastball called strike 1 to Tony. Yankees have a few injuries. Phil Lynn, who jammed his thumb in a slide, is unable to play. And Joe Pepitone, who was hit by a pitch from left-hander Al Jackson of the Mets a week or so ago, is still out of there. There's a hopper. Reynolds knocks it down. Throws to Owen in time. A nice play by Pete Reynolds as he knocked the ball down. It was heading for right field. And then picked it up and got Kubek. So there's 1 out. Now here's Bobby Richardson. Richardson hitting at .259. Bobby started well over the 400 mark for the first 8 or 10 games, and then since that time has slumped a little. 14 for 54 this spring. Jim Owen, the right-hander, into the windup, delivers to Bobby. There's a check swing, bouncer towards third. Bateman out, and he picks it up as it rolls foul. Bateman, for a minute, looked as though he might have had a chance to grab hold of that ball before it went foul. Richardson did not leave the plate, and had he got it, Bobby would have been a sure out. But if you're the catcher running out after a ball like that with your back to the plate, and a guy like Richardson at the plate, that's a base hit. That ball dribbled down there about 35 feet. Oh, and the 1-strike delivery to Bobby is a curve that's low. Ball 1. 1 ball and 1 strike. 1-1 the count. Richardson, second batter for the Yankees. We're in the last of the first inning. Owen delivers to Bobby. A line drive fly going toward right field. Moving under and getting it is Johnny Weakley. Bobby hit that ball well. Got a little bit too much loft to it. So there's 2 down. And here's Roger Maris. Maris came up with 2 big hits yesterday. He was way down there, hitting at 154. Roger Maris facing Jim Owen. We're in the last of the first. No score in the ball game. Owen delivers to Maris. He fouls it back, strike 1. Owens initially came up with the Philadelphia Phillies in 1955. 1963, he was with Cincinnati. And then also, part of that season spent with San Diego. Maris takes low and outside. 1 ball. 1 ball and 1 strike to Roger. Owens, a major leaguer for 9 years, has a combined record of 24 wins and 48 losses in the 9-year span. Owens delivers to Maris, and it's outside. 2 balls and a strike. 2-1 the count. Mickey Mantle in the on-deck circle for the Yankees. Wind once again as it prevails here, blowing toward that left field fence, favoring the right-hand hitters. Maris drills one. A nice play by Runnels right down that line, and he races Maris to the bag for the putout. Beat Runnels, making a nice play going through the line. That takes care of the Yankees here in the last half of the first inning. 3 up, 3 down. The score after the first inning of play, the Yanks nothing and the Colts nothing. You know, tickets for all the 1964 Yankee home games are on sale right now. There are several simple ways to get your choice of seats for the big games this season. You can buy tickets over the counter at the Yankee Stadium Advance Ticket Office, which is open daily, Monday through Saturday from 9 to 5. And there's plenty of free parking while you do your ticket shopping. Tickets also are on sale at the Yankees' convenient Midtown Ticket Office on the mezzanine of Grand Central Terminal overlooking the main information booth. The Grand Central Ticket Office is open Monday through Friday from 8:30 to 6 p.m. and from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Saturdays. Box and reserve seat reservations also are available at all Schraft restaurants in the greater New York area. Don't forget, you can order by mail also if you want to. Just send your money order to the ticket manager along with your order. Care of the New York Yankees, Yankee Stadium, Bronx 51, New York. Be sure to enclose your check or money order. And don't forget to include your own name and address. Box seats are $3.50. Reserve seats are $2.50, all taxes included. And one other thing, please add 25 cents to your total order to cover mailing charges. In the top of the second inning, no score on the ball game. Bud Daly against Jim Owens. And here's Jim Wynn, the center fielder. Wynn, right-hand batter. W-Y-N-N. Fairly compact athlete. Hits the first pitch into short left field. Tommy Tresh getting under it easily. Takes it, and we've got 1 away. For a moment, it looked like there was a little more mustard on that ball, but only went out there about 290 feet. So there's 1 down, and now here's Bob Aspromonte. Bob has been with the Houston Colts since 1962, spending his 3rd year. He hit only .214 last year. Played in 136 games. Right-hand batter. He's the brother of Ken Aspromonte. Takes a strike in there. 1 strike the count to Bob Aspromonte. Born in Brooklyn, New York. 6'2", 185. Big guy. Hits one on down the line. Lopez over. Behind third. It's called foul. 0-2 the count to Aspromonte. The Yankees are using Gonzalez at first base today. And Hector Lopez at third. Aspromonte hits a 2-hopper to Kubek at short. Throw to first is in time. 2 down. 2 up and 2 down here in the top of the second inning. Those are the kind of ground balls the infielders like. You know, they hug the ground and all of a sudden take that nice big hop about belt high. Far enough out, of course, so that you have time to gauge it. Sometimes when they take those big hops at the last minute, they end up as errors. Now Johnny Weekly, the right fielder. Right-hand batter. Hails from New Orleans. Daly delivers to Weekly a curveball that misses inside. Ball 1. 6 feet tall, 200 pounds. Big guy. Played last year with Houston. Hit .225. 3 home runs, 14 RBIs. As Daly delivers, good called strike. 1 ball and 1 strike. Bud Daly, boy, he's sharp today, I'll tell you that. Hitting those corners. Daly into the windup. The 1-1 pitch to Weekly. On the ground to Kubek. He's got the bobbles it. He's up with it again. The throw is not in time. And that'll have to go as an error to Tony Kubek. He threw the ball in the dirt, although the throw, even had Pedro Gonzalez come up with it, would not have beat Weekly, who went down that line pretty good. So, Tony Kubek charged with the error. Weekly safe at first. Now here's the left fielder, Big Walt Bond. Well, he's a giant of a guy. Big left-hand batter. Came up with the Cleveland Indians a few years ago. 6'6", 220 pounds. This is a fellow that the Indians hoped would carry them to or into contention in a possible flag a few years ago. He takes a strike call from Bud Daly. Straightaway stance, fairly closed. Weekly on at first base. 2 down. No score in this game. Top of the second. Curveball swung on him. This strike 2. That was a flat sidearm changeup curveball, and Bond was way out in front of it. Walt had trials with the Indians in 60, 61, and 62, and was unable to stick. Curveball sidearm that's way outside, ball 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Last year at Jacksonville in the International League, Walt had 25 home runs with 82 RBIs at 276. Pedro Gonzalez playing behind Weekly at first base. Walt on the batter. The 1-2 delivery is a curve that's way outside. 2-2 the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Yankee infield playing deep and shaded slightly to the right. The outfield the same. Daly shakes Blanchard off for one sign. He's ready to go. Set, delivers to Bond, who fouls it straight back on the screen, and the count holds at 2-2. Tomorrow night, the Yankees and the Los Angeles Dodgers will be going at it here in Fort Lauderdale. It'll be the first night game here in Fort Lauderdale. We'll be on the air at 7:55. Game time at 8 o'clock, and we'll be on AM and FM. Always an exciting contest when the Yanks and the Dodgers get together. The 2-2 delivery to Bond is fouled back behind the plate. Count once again remains at 2-2. Walter Bond, born October the 19th, 1937, at Denmark, Tennessee. 2-2 delivery to Walt. Oh, it hits him. And where did it hit him? Looks like it got him right on the right finger there. Boy, that ball was way inside. Bond had no chance to get out of the way. He doesn't look like he's injured in any way. But he started to go down, and that ball was about belt high. Had no chance to get out of the way and hit him on the right wrist, apparently. So Bond is safe at first base after being hit by the pitcher. Going down to second is Johnny Weekly, and now here's John Bateman, the catcher. John Bateman, right-hander. He's a young fella. Hitting an even 100. He's had 2 hits and 20 appearances at the plate this spring. Hits the first pitch high in the air, out behind second base. Kubek, Richardson, Mantle conversion. Kubek calls for it, takes it, and that takes care of the Colts here in the top of the second. For the Colts, no runs, no hits, 1 Yankee error, 2 men left. The score after an inning and a half, the Colts nothing and the Yankees nothing. Last half of the second inning, Jim Owens continues his warm-up on the mound. He'll be facing Mickey Mantle, Tommy Tresh, and Johnny Blanchard in that order. Mantle batting left-handed against the right-handed Jim Owens. Mantle, a .235 batter thus far this spring. 8 hits and 34 at-bats. Got 12 walks. And he leads the club in home runs with 2. Nobody, except Mantle, has hit more than 1. Mick swings and misses, strike 1. The Yankees have only a total of 9 home runs so far this spring, and they've won 9 games and lost 11. That's a total of 20 games. Owens delivers to Mantle a fastball inside, ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. See, the other home run hitters are Pepitone, Gonzalez, Blanchard, Kubek, Boyer, Lopez, and Tresh. And Maris is in there. There's a strike in there. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Mickey Mantle. One ball, 2 strikes. Mantle from the left side as Owen goes into his windup. There's a long drive running into right center, coming in, and making a big play is the center fielder, Jim Wynn. How do you like that? Boy, he stood the fans on their ears here for that one. That ball lined up in the alley in right center. Young Jim Wynn coming over and cutting in a little bit. It looked like it was going to get through and stuck out his glove and got it about a foot off the ground. A great play to rob Mantle of an extra base hit. 1 down, and here's Tommy Tresh. Tresh takes outside, ball 1. Tresh hitting at 178 for 47. A great play by the center fielder, Jim Wynn, to rob Mantle. Inside, Tresh, 2 balls, no strikes. 2-0 the count. Colt infield, shaded to the right. As Owen goes into the windup, the 2-0 delivery takes it in there, strike call. 2 balls, 1 strike, 1 down. No score in this ball game. We're in the last half of the 2nd inning. Tommy Tresh, batting from the left side. Set, delivers, swung on a miss, strike 2. 2-2 the count. Tresh last year hit .269 with 25 home runs, 71 RBIs. The 2-2 delivery by Owen, swung on a miss, strike 3, and he got him. That's the first strikeout recorded by Jim Owen. 2 up and 2 down here in the last half of the 2nd inning, and here's Johnny Blanchard who's doing the catching today. We're moving right along here. Owen winds, delivers to Blanchard, and it's high, ball 1. 1 ball to count. Johnny Blanchard, who has moved into the number 2 catching spot behind Elston Howard, getting his share of work. The 1 ball delivery to John is low. 2-0 the count. 2 balls, no strikes. Whitey Ford is doing the coaching at first base, and over at third, Jimmy Gleason. Owen into the windup. The 2-0 delivery is outside. 3-0 the count. 3 balls, no strikes to Johnny Blanchard with 2 down and nobody on here in the last of the 2nd. In the on-deck circle, Hector Lopez playing third base for the first time in over 2 years today. The 3-0 delivery to Blanchard. Called strike. 3-1. Jim Owen just laid that one in there. Blanchard taking all the way. Fox is playing almost closer to first than he is to second on Blanchard, and he's in the right spot as the ball bounces off his chest. He jumps on it and fires to first. Nellie Fox was playing not 30 feet from first base, and that ball, had he stood there, would have hit him in the nose. As it did bounce off of his chest, but he managed to make the foot out. So for the Yankees, in the last half of the 2nd inning, 3 up and 3 down. The score after 2, Houston nothing, the Yanks nothing.
Time now, 2 o'clock.
In the top of the 3rd inning, it'll be Jim Owen leading off for the Colts here. No score in the game. Bud Daly on the mound for the Yankees. A curveball is called strike 1. Jim Owen, batting from the right-hand side, facing Bud Daly. Owen, 6 feet tall, 200 pounds. He's a big guy, squarely built, takes outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. 1-1 the count to Owen. Only 2 base runners in this ball game, both of them Colts, none of them on by virtue of a base hit. There's a dribbler out toward second base. Bobby Richardson coming in, scoops it up, fires to Gonzalez, and there's 1 away. One down, and the batter is Eddie Casco, who led off this ball game by striking out. The only strikeout recorded by Daly. Casco's a pretty good hitter. Had a great year with Cincinnati a few years ago, where he was at or above the 300 mark for most of the season. Daly winds, delivers to Castro, takes it inside, ball one. Castro, born in Linden, New Jersey, now resides in Richmond, Virginia. 6 feet, 185-pounder. Wears glasses, as we mentioned before. Hits the first pitch on 2 hops, and 2 Lopez's winning. Well, Hector Lopez had a tough one. A grass cutter, and that second hop didn't come up. And how do they rule that? They give Lopez an error. So that's the second Yankee error in this ballgame. Boy, they're tough, and particularly when you've been standing out in left field for 2 years. Hector Lopez charged with the error. 1 down, Castro at first, and here comes Nellie Fox, who lined out to Bobby Richardson in the first inning. Last year with Chicago, Fox at 260. Hits the first pitch into straightaway center. Mantle coming in and goes back a little bit, and he got it. And he just did get it. Mickey Mantle started in on the ball, thinking that it was going to be hit lower than it was, and he had to really retreat and hauled that thing down on a leaping backhanded catch. Boy, that was a double or a triple for sure had that ball got away from Mantle. Oh, Nellie Fox is out of there as he's hit the ball sharply twice off of Bud Daly. Lined out to Richardson in the first, and then a line drive to Mantle here in the third. Now Pete Ruddles, who popped the third. Hits the first pitch high in the air into short left field. Tommy Tresh getting under it. Takes it easily, and the Colts are out of there in the top of the third inning. For the Colts, no runs, no hits, 1 Yankee error, 1 man left, and the score after 2.5, Houston nothing and the Yankees nothing.
You get a smile every time with a Valentine. Wow, what a beer, that Valentine. You get a smile every time with a Valentine. Wow, what a beer, that Valentine. Beer after beer, the most refreshing around. Won't fill you up, won't let you down. So get a smile every time with a Valentine. Get a smile every time. Make it Valentine beer.
Half of the third inning. Bottom third of the Yankee order, Lopez, Gonzalez, and Daly scheduled to hit off of Jim Owen. Yankees have yet to put a base runner on. In fact, neither side has acquired a base hit at this point. As Hector Lopez hits one toward Fox, who tries to backhand and knocks it down, dribbles out toward center field, and Hector Lopez chalks up the first base hit of this ball game. Lopez hitting a sharp ground ball to the right of Nellie Fox. Safe at first. Owens giving up the first hit of this game. Now here's Pedro Gonzalez. Pedro was originally scheduled to play third base today. Swings and fouls it back. Oh, boy, and that hurt the catcher, John Bateman. He got that right on the right side. That's one thing about catching. Those fellas take a beating. You know, a lot of things you don't even see. Foul tips that go off the knee or off the toe or off the thigh. John Bateman taking a little time. And right now, young Mr. Bateman is not feeling as spry as he'd like. Bending over a little bit to get the sensation and the circulation flowing again. 1 strike to count to Gonzalez. Hector Lopez on at first base. No score in the ball game. We're in the last of the third. Nobody out here in the third inning for the Yankees. As Owens delivers to Gonzalez, he fouls it at the plate again. 0-2 the count. No balls, 2 strikes. The Yankees have the only base hit in this game and also have committed the only errors. They've got 2. Nothing in 2 the count. Jim Owen pitching low curveballs to Gonzalez, trying to get him to hit that ball on the ground. Here comes another one, hit high in the air to straightaway center. Jimmy Wynn shades it with his glasses, takes it one way. young Mr. Wynn was a shortstop last year, playing the outfield this season, and he's playing it like he played it all of his life. Made a great catch on Mickey Mantle in the second. Here's Bud Daly. Lopez leading off at first. Owen bunts toward third, and will it stay fair? It just dribbles foul. Bob Aspermani in on the play, but felt that the way that bunt was laid down there, he'd better let it roll foul. Almost came back for a minute there. So that's a foul. Strike one the count to Bud Daly. Hector Lopez retracing his steps to first, and we're all set to go again. Nellie Fox, who is now moving more over toward first base, he was looking for the possible spot where Daly might hit. Now he's looking for a little more of a bunt. And there it goes again. Daly, he squared the bunt and went back to hit and took it outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. So the mental processes are going. Daly checking Jim Gleason at third base for a sign. Bob Aspermani playing in close to third. Lopez leading off at first. The 1-1 delivery. Daly squares, takes it right down the middle, and didn't attempt to bunt the ball. Thought it was inside. So the count goes to 1 ball, 2 strikes. 1-2 the count. Now Jimmy Gleason flashing some more signs to Daly, so it might be that Yogi Berra wants Daly to bunt himself out of there. Let's see. And there he goes. He squares away and bunts a beauty in front of the mound. Bateman out. Scored second for 1. The throw back to first is wild, and Fox made a great stop of the ball, diving toward the outfield portion of first base to knock the ball down. So Bud Daly fails to sacrifice Lopez onto second base. It'll be a fielder's choice, going from 2 to 6. Castro got rid of that ball quickly and well, but wild. Now here's Tony Kubek, the batter. He bounced out the first in the first inning. Swings and misses, strike 1. Daly on at first base. 2 out, no score in the ball game. Last half of the third. 0-1 the count to Tony Kubek. Owen sets, delivers to Kubek, who fouls it off to the bat boy, who knocks it down. No balls, 2 strikes. From Fort Lauderdale, Florida, on a beautiful Sunday afternoon, the Yankees and the Colts. Owen, who's starting to perspire heavily through his uniform, gets the sign from Bateman, sets, delivers to Kubek, who lays off at the last minute. Ball 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Tony started to go after that low curve ball and then held up just at the last minute. Kubek had somewhat of an off season for him last year. Hit only .257, had 7 home runs, 44 RBIs. The 1-2 delivery to Kubek is inside, 2-2. Although that's not the complete story on Kubek, because through the first half of the season, he was struggling around the 200 mark. Second half, he had hit close to 300 to pull his average up there. And that happens to players from time to time. 2-2 delivery to Kubek. High fly ball into right center. Jimmy Wynn going over, takes it, and that takes care of the Yankees here in the last half of the third inning. For the Yankees, no runs, 1 hit, no Colt errors, 1 man left, and the score after 3 full innings of play, the Yanks nothing and Houston nothing.
And now, on to the next portion of this ball game, brought to you by the Atlantic Refining Company and your neighborhood Atlantic dealer, the folks who offer you Atlantic Imperial, the gasoline that cleans your carburetor and keeps it clean.
Thank you, Jerry. Bud Daly working smooth and easy right now. And here's a reminder, if you want a Yankee season schedule, the popular 12-page Valentine informational schedule and an American League game-by-game season schedule is available free of cost. Just send your request to Schedule Department, New York Yankees, Yankee Stadium, Bronx 51, New York. And please be sure to enclose a self-addressed stamped envelope. A self-addressed stamped envelope would be even better. Sad to say that Bud Daly, when he's pitching and he's on, he makes pitching look so easy that everybody wants to be a pitcher. Just looks like he's playing catch up there with Johnny Blanchard, or whoever happens to be doing the catching for the Yankees. And Daly will be facing Jim Wynn, who flied out to left field in the second inning. Just 22 years old. Born in Cincinnati. Right-hand hitter fouls the first pitch back. Strike one. Last year with San Antonio, he had 16 home runs in 78 games, and in 70 games with the Colts, he had 4 home runs. Not a big fella. 5'10", 160 pounds. Daly's next pitch is pop foul, coming right back up on the roof and out of play. 0-2. And there goes the blimp. You know, we're allowed to take rides in that blimp, Joe. But I'm passing it up. You know, it is a windy part of the country down here in Lauderdale. And those blimps, they do a little rocking and rolling up there. There's a knuckleball hit high and foul down the left field line. The wind will carry that out of play. Way over the fence. Wynn uppercutted that high fastball. On deck is Bob Aspromonte. Tresh and Mantle are deep in left field and center field. Maris not too deep in right. The wind blowing across from right field to left field. The two-strike pitch is strike 3. Dropped by Blanchard. Picks it up. Throws to first base in time for the out. So that goes as a strikeout, but you give Blanchard an assist and the first baseman a putout. Second strikeout for Daly. That's right, Joe Cooper just pointed out to me that blimp is standing stock still, just like a helicopter. Well, how do they do that, Joe? Or they just go into the wind and slow down, and the wind just like a kite, huh? Now he's moving a little bit. Here's Aspromonte, who bounced to the shortstop. Takes a pitch outside. Ball 1. Looks like a big hot dog with a couple of fins on it. Curve inside. Ball 2, 2-0. Aspromonte bats him right-handed. Daly's pitch, a line drive single up the middle. The first hit for the Houston Colt 45. The line single to center, no doubt about that one. So that breaks up the potential no-hitter for Daly. Both teams now with one base hit, no score. We're in the top of the 4th. It brings up John Weekly, who reached on an error in the second inning. Stretch by Daly. His curve is low, ball 1. You know, that's an unusual name. Not that Weekly is an unusual name, but for an athlete. Something about names that sort of give you power, and Weekly is not one of them, though he is a good ball player. But just check swing fly ball to Richardson. He trapped it, and then boosted, picks it up, throws to Kubek, and they get the one. Bobby had a good idea there. He bluffed catching it on a fly, then tried to trap it, and he would have had a double play as Weekly had stopped running.
The game continues at the beginning of side 2 after a short delay.
Fly ball to Richardson. He trapped it, and then boosted, picks it up, throws to Kubek, and they get the one. Bobby had a good idea there. He bluffed catching it on a fly, then tried to trap it, and he would have had a double play as Weekly had stopped running. And then Bobby, in trying to scoop it up, had it bounce off the heel of his glove, rolled into short center field. But at first base, Aspromonte had a hold up because if Richardson catches the ball on the fly, he can double him off. So that's a 4th play from 4 to 6. Richardson's always trying something different. Here's Walt Bond, who was hit by a pitch ball his first time at bat in the second inning. Hit him right on the right thumb. Takes a curve in there. Strike one call. Weekly at first. Gonzalez playing in back of the bag. Stretched by Daly. Fastball fouled back over the roof. 0-2 the count. Bond, a big left-hand batter. Daly set. Sidearm curve way outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Weekly with a short lead at first base. Daly's curve is just inside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Daly goes to the rosin bag. On deck is John Bateman, the catcher. Now Daly stretches. Pitch, strike 3, swinging. A sinking fastball. Daly's third strikeout for the Colts. No runs, 1 hit, no Yankee errors, 1 man left. At the end of 3.5, it's the Colts nothing and the Yankees nothing.
Those 1927 cars were great in their day. They had good motor oil in 1927, too. And as engines were improved year after year, Atlantic developed finer motor oils to protect them. Now comes the finest. New Atlantic Imperial Motor Oil. The first oil so good Atlantic has given it the Imperial name and shield. Today's driving conditions increase the amount of dirt and sludge that build up inside your engine to interfere with performance. But new Atlantic Imperial Motor Oil holds dirt and sludge in suspension, helps keep it off engine parts. None of the new highly publicized motor oils can protect your engine better than new Atlantic Imperial Motor Oil.
This is WOKO in Albany, New York.
Richardson got off to a real fast start this spring. Was really hitting. He went into a little bit of a tailspin on the western swing and has dropped down to 250 right now. Play is being held up momentarily as we wait for the right fielder to get out there. And there he goes now. John Weekly was either getting sunglasses or some minor repairs in the dugout. Now he's out there. And Bobby Richardson steps into the batter's box. On deck, Roger Maris. The right-hander Jim Owens into the windup. The pitch to Richardson. A high pop-up in back of third. Aspromonte and Casco are after it. Casco calls for it and makes the catch. Both Aspromonte and Casco yell it, "I have it." But Eddie yelled just a little louder. One away, here's Roger Maris. Maris bounced at first base in the first inning. On deck, Mickey Mantle. Pitch to Maris. A change-up right in there. Strike 1 call. Owens' curve is high, 1-1. Owens, 6 feet tall, 200 pounds. Now living in Venice, Florida, the home of Early Wind. Curve low. 2 balls, 1 strike. One delivery is high and away, ball 3. Colt 45s do not overshift on Maris as much as the American League clubs do. The 3-1 pitch is on the outside corner. Full count to Maris, 3-2. Jim Wynn in center field is really deep on Maris. Here's the payoff pitch. Foul back on the screen. Owens with that short windup. Delivers a ground ball to the shortstop. Up with it. Casco, the throw to first in time for the out. That was a nice play by Eddie Casco. That was a real grass-burning ground ball. Hugged the ground. And here's Mantle. Mantle was robbed of an extra base hit on a fine play by Jim Wynn, the center fielder. Pitch to Mickey. Swing and a miss, strike one. On deck, Tom Tresh. Two out, nobody on, no score. Mantle takes a curve high, 1-1. Owens gets the sign from Bateman. Boy, his uniform is just about so clear through now. Pitch is a curve, hits the inside corner, strike two called. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Frank Humont calling balls and strikes. Humont, a New Jersey resident who has migrated to Florida. He lives not too far from the ballpark here in Fort Lauderdale. The 1 ball, 2 strike pitch. A line drive to right field, and it's in there for a base hit. Wheatley plays it on 1 hop and fires it in Ellie Fox. The Mantle has hit the ball hard twice. Robbed of 1, gets a single on this one. That's the second hit for the Yankees. The Colts have only 1 hit. Tommy Tresh struck out in the second inning. There's a swing and a miss, strike 1. On deck, Johnny Blanchard. Mantle leads away. The pitch to Tresh hit high in the air to left center field. Wins. And Walt Bond after it. Bond calls for it and makes the catch high over his head. That ball really carried with the wind blowing that way. For the Yankees, no runs, 1 hit. No Colt errors, 1 man left. And at the end of 4, it's the Colts nothing and the Yankees nothing. Well, remember the big home opener is coming up. Next Tuesday afternoon at Yankee Stadium, the Yankees will face the colorful Boston Red Sox, and the 1964 pennant scramble will be on. Now, this is a special opener because it'll mark the debut of longtime Yankee favorite Yogi Berra as the Yankee manager. The Bombers will mark the occasion, too, because every fan attending the opener will receive a Welcome Yogi button to signify their attendance at his first game as manager. A big field pregame program will get underway at 1:30 with game time at 2 p.m. Guy Lombardo and his popular Royal Canadians will be on hand for entertainment before the field program and for the playing of our national anthem. Elston Howard will receive the American League Most Valuable Player Award, and all the 1963 Yankees will receive their pennant souvenirs from League President Joe Crump. It should be a big day, and fans will want to be on hand to greet Yogi. Good seats are available at all Yankee ticket outlets and by mail. Right now, let's pause for station identification.
This is your Yankee baseball station in Albany, New York. WOKO 1460 on your dial.
For the Colt 45s, it'll be John Bateman, their catcher, leading off. He popped up to Kubek at shortstop, his first time at bat. Bateman is 6'3", 210 pounds. He's just 21 years old. Big right-hand hitter. Daly's curve. Ground ball. Lopez has it on one hop. The throw to first base. Backhanded by Gonzalez, who pulled his foot off the bag and then got it back just in time. That Gonzalez handles himself very well at first. Lopez, you must remember, has played outfield now, and this first time he's played third base in about 2 years. Although, when he did play third for Kansas City and for the Yankees, his arm has always been a little erratic. Matter of fact, he made one throw wild, and Skowron, reaching for it, caught the ball. The runner coming down first ran into Moose, and Moose came up with a broken wrist. Jim Owens, who bounced to second base in the third inning, takes a curve outside, ball one. Daly's next pitch, a ground foul outside of third. Lum Harris in the coaching box, up with it. Jimmy Adair coaching at first for the Colt 45. On deck, Eddie Casco. Daly's curve, ground ball hit to third. Lopez knocks it down, picks it up, throws to first base, and Gonzalez has to come off the bag to catch it and tags Owen. Now, that was a nice play by Lopez, but again, his arm, you've got to get used to that throw at third base, and it doesn't only take one day. Hector took a base hit away from Owens by knocking that hard smash down, and turned around, picked it up, and even though his throw pulled Gonzalez off the bag, Pedro was able to tag Jim Owens coming down the line. So it's 2 out. Here's Eddie Casco, who struck out and reached on an error. Casco talking with Nellie Fox. They're just talking about the weather, what they're going to do tonight, giving Owens a little time to get a breather in the dugout, and Frank Umont, the plate umpire, knows it, goes over and breaks up the huddle. Well, you can do that. You can stall a little bit, as long as you don't stall too long. Foxy with a big grin on his face. No score with 2 out, nobody on in the top of the 5th. Daly's curve is right in there. Strike one call. That's right, Joe Cooper. We were talking about Johnny Wheatley's name, giving you the idea that he's not strong, which is not true. But that Nellie Fox is really a fox. I'll tell you that. He knows every trick in the books to get you mad, to aggravate you, to stall. He really can bother a catcher with his stance at that plate, too. The next pitch is low in the dirt. 1-1 the count on Eddie Casco. Daly's curve is inside. 2 balls, 1 strike. Pitch hit on the ground at third. Lopez is up with it. The throw to first base. This one is a strike, and Lopez made all 3 assists that inning. 3 up, 3 down. Nothing across. The score at the end of 5 full innings. The Colt 40... Whoop, check that. The score at the end of 4.5 innings. The Colt 45... Nothing ball game. And we've got a change in left field, but we can't get his number. And Walt Bond, who was out there, as we told you, got hit on the right thumb by a pitch ball. 28 it is, Joe. Oh, Walt Bond went over to right field. And John Wheatley has come out. Wally Williams is in left field. So Wheatley, who held up the game last inning, a little late getting out to left field, is out of the game. As soon as we find out why, we'll let you know. Johnny Blanchard takes a pitch, low, ball 1. Boy, you talk about a small outfielder. This Wally Williams is 5'6", but he weighs 185 pounds, so he's solid. Pitch is low to Blanchard. Ball 2, 2-0. 5'6" for an outfield. That is small. That's small for an infielder. Small for anything. Except for me. He's got me by a half inch. There's a line drive to center field. That's in for a base hit. Wynn plays it on the second hop. Blanchard with a line single at center. The 3rd hit for the Yankees. Brings up Hector Lopez. Lopez singled off Nellie Fox's glove in the 3rd inning. Williams in 73 games for Modesto last year batted .381. Didn't appear in any games with the Colts. The runner's going, the ball is lined to right field, and it's in for a base hit. Rounding second, trying for third is Blanchard. His throw is cut off by Casco, and Blanchard slides in. A perfect hit and run executed by Hector Lopez, who is one of the best right field hitters of any right-hand batter in the big league. A line shot to right field. Blanchard was not fast, but was off with the pitch. Easily made it to third. And that'll bring up Pedro Gonzalez, who flied to center field in the third inning. So it's a scoreless ball game, but the Yankees are threatening here. Runners at first and third. Nobody out. Here's the stretch by Owen. Pitch to Gonzalez. The ground ball hit to third. Aspermani goes to second for one. Back to first. They won't get the double play. The ball was not hit hard enough, and the run scores. A run batted in for Pedro Gonzalez. As Blanchard crosses the plate, and the Yankees lead 1-0. Lopez was forced at second. Gonzalez safe at first. And now Bateman is going out to talk with Owens, and we're going to have a pinch hitter. Elvio Jimenez is coming up to bat for Bud Daly. And Daly had 5 real fine, easy innings. He allowed just 1 hit, didn't walk anybody, struck out 3, didn't allow any runs. And now Bateman and Owens are talking things over out on the mound. Elvio, a free swinger, is up at the plate, swinging the bat, trying to loosen up. And on deck is Tony Kubek. Brother of Manny Jimenez of the Kansas City A's. Throw to first base, and Gonzalez is back. Here's the stretch. Pitch, swing, and a miss at a low curve, strike 1. Well, as a minor leaguer, he has definitely been a 300 hitter. Quick throw to first, and Gonzalez back again. 1 year he batted under 300. That year he hit 299. The other years he had some good ones, 329, 368, 310, 331, and 316. Here's a stretch. Pitch is outside. 1-1. Doesn't get many base on balls, so as we told you, he likes to swing. Another throw to first, Gonzalez back. Yankees lead 1-0 here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Owens stretches. There he goes. The runner's going to swing. The miss. The throw to second base. Beautiful throw, and they got him. And Gonzalez had a good jump on the pitcher, Jim Owens, but Bateman made a beautiful throw. And Gonzalez is caught stealing. Nellie Fox covered. Fox gets the put out. So it's 2 out. And the count is 1 ball and 2 strikes on Jimenez. Here's the windup. The curve, ground ball hit to second base. Fox over. Tries to backhand it. Gets it and throws it. No, he doesn't throw. He started to throw. He tried to backhand the ball. It rolled up his arm. He caught it before it hit the ground, but then never threw the ball. And Fox is charged with an error on that play. The reason they charged Fox with an error, he could have gotten in front of that ball, but he wanted to backhand it and throw quickly. Tony Kubek bounced the first fly to center, follows the first pitch off, strike 1, and that ball hit Bateman on the arm and the chest. Boy, he's having a rough day back there. Catchers get those battle wounds out, did it? Sometimes they get hit so solidly with a foul ball, you can read Joe Cronin, president of the American League, right on their body. There's a throw to first. Jimenez is back. I've seen that happen. Boy, that stretch by Owen. Curve high. 1-1. So it looks like the Yankees might have picked up a little defect in Owen's delivery. And they've had a couple of men running, even though they caught the last one stealing. Bateman's fine throw cut down Gonzalez. Here's the stretch. Throw to first. Jimenez is back. Again, the stretch. Pitch foul over the roof, out of play. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 out. Owens goes to the rosin bag. On deck, Bobby Richardson. Here's the stretch. Another throw to first. Jimenez was about a foot off the bag. Easily got back. Well, maybe Paul Richards has got Owens working on his move to first base. And then he steps off the rubber. Now he stretches. Pitch, a line drive, base hit to center field. Jimenez is around second, then stopped. He went about 15 feet and then held up. So Kubek loops a single to center. The 5th Yankee hit of the ball game. And 3 of them coming here in the bottom of the 5th. Now with runners at first and second and 2 out, Bobby Richardson's the batter. Bobby flied to right and popped to the shortstop. Roger Maris. Runners lead off first and second. Pitch to Bobby's a curve in there. Strike 1 call. There hasn't been a walk in this ball game yet for either side. Owens sets. Delivers a swing and a foul tip. Strike 2. Nothing in 2 to count. Buddy Ford coaching at first. Jimmy Gleason at third for the Yankees. Here's the stretch. 2-strike pitch. Low. Bobby checked his swing. There goes Jimenez to third as the ball bounced off the catcher's chest protector, but holding it first was Kubek. It's a wild pitch. Charge to Jim Owens. Curve that hit in the dirt. I guess Kubek was not sure that Jimenez was going to run, and Jimenez did start and stop momentarily. Might have fooled Kubek, but Jimenez went to third on the wild pitch. Kubek held it first. It's a 1 ball, 2-strike count to Richardson. Stretch the pitch, a line drive base hit to right field. Coming in to score is Jimenez. Holding at second base is Kubek. And Richardson hit that one right off his ear. It was high and tight. Slapped it to right field. Run batted in for Bobby. The Yankees now lead 2-0. Brings up Roger Maris. Maris bounced to first, bounced to short. Kubek at second, Richardson at first. Pitch to Maris low inside, ball 1. Kubek and Richardson each have 15 hits to lead the Yankees in that department now. Pitch to Maris, a high fly to right field. Walt Bond with plenty of time to get under it. He's coming on, and he takes it. For the Yankees, 2 runs, 4 hits, 1 Houston error, and 2 men left on. And the score now at the end of 5 full innings, the Yankees 2, the Colts 45-0. Bill Stafford has come on to do the pitching for the Yankees as Bud Daly leads after pitching 5 innings, allowing 1 hit and no runs. Stafford is making his 5th appearance of the spring. He's worked 11 innings, given up 9 hits, 3 runs, all 3 of them earned. Walked 4, struck out 7. He's won 2 and lost 1 this spring. Has a fine earned run average, 2.45. Stafford, as you know, had a real bad year last year. Stafford won 4 and lost 8, but he was quite a bit overweight, and he has come down this spring in real good shape. Nellie Fox bluffs the bunt, takes it over. It's a strike. Fox line to second and line to center. He's hit the ball hard both times. On deck, Pete Reynolds. Stafford's next pitch, slow curve, hit in the air to short center field. Kubek moving back. He's there, and he takes it. One away. Pete Runnels, pop to third, fly to left field. On deck, Jim Wynn. Danny Coombs, a right-hander, is loosening up for Houston in the bullpen as Runnels takes a pitch high, ball one. Pitch is inside. 2 balls, no strikes on Pete Runnels. Next pitch is fouled back on the screen. Well, the Houston yearbook has number 37 listed as Danny Coombs, but we just get a revision of it on a piece of typewritten paper here. And number 37 is actually Chuck Taylor, who is loosening up in the bullpen. The 2-1 pitch is high, ball 3. Stafford into the windup. Pitch, a line drive, base hit to left field. A typical Pete Runnels hit. He falls away and slices the ball to the opposite field. He lined it between Kubek and Lopez. So that's the second Colt hit of the ball game. The first one off Stafford. And we've got a runner going in for Pete Runnels. John Hoffman, a catcher, is running for Pete Runnels. And it brings up Jim Wynn, fly to left field and struck out. Pitch to Wynn is a curve inside, ball 1. Wynn bats him right-handed. Stafford sets. His pitch is low, ball 2, 2-0. Hoffman's only 20 years old. Boy, they got some young kids on this team. Curve over, strike called. 2 balls, 1 strike. Hoffman leads away. 2-1 pitch hit deep to left field, but curving foul. Boy, that was a line drive that hit against the fence in the left field corner, but foul. 2 balls, 2 strikes. On deck, Bob Aspromonte. Yankees 2, Colts nothing. We're in the top of the 6th inning. Stretch by Stafford. Curve inside, forces him away from the plate. 3-2 the count. Stafford is ready. His curve is hit foul outside of third. Count holds it 3-2. Bill leans over, gets the sign from Blanchard. Checks the runner at first. Pitch, line to left field, foul again. Boy, that wind gets some good wood on those foul balls. Stafford asks for a new baseball. Yankees will be playing their first night game here at Lauderdale Stadium tomorrow night against the Los Angeles Dodgers. Here's the stretch by Stafford. Curve inside, ball 4, he walked him. Moving to second is John Hoffman. At first is Jim Wynn. And that's the first walk of the ball game, I believe, for either pitcher. Yes, it is, for either team, rather. Bud Daly didn't walk anybody, neither did Jim Owens while he was in there. Brings up Bob Aspromonte. Bounced a short single at center. Aspromonte is a Brooklyn boy. His brother, Ken Aspromonte, is with the Red Sox in Cleveland. Stretch the pitch to Aspromonte. A high foul that's coming back on the screen out of play. Blanchard's chasing it, but it hits halfway up the screen. With one out, the Yankee infield in double play depth. Yankees lead 2-0. They scored both their runs in the bottom of the 5th. Here's the stretch. Sidearm curve is low. 1 ball, 1 strike. Hoffman leads off second. Wynn off first. Stafford delivers a curve hit deep to left field. A curving foul. That one would have been way out of here, way, way back. It hit on top of the batting cage beyond the left field fence. The wind not only helped that, but hurt it a little bit because it's blowing from right field to left field, and it pulled it foul. But that ball was really tagged. Stretch by Stafford. Pitch in the dirt, picked up by Blanchard. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Stafford ready. Pitch foul, back on the roof, out of play. Runners lead off first and second. The pitch is a curve foul, back on the screen again. On deck is Wally Williams. Two balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Yankees 2, Colts 45, nothing. We're in the top of the 6th inning. Runners lead off first and second. Stafford's pitch, ground ball hit in the hole. Through for a base hit. Coming around third. The throw to the plate. And not in time. This bounces off Blanchard's chest. Going to third base on that throw is Jim Wynn. Holding on first with an RBI single is Bob Aspromonte. And that makes it a 2-1 ball game in favor of the Yankees. And it brings up Wally Williams. Told you he's a little fellow, only 5'6", but a solid 185 pounds. Runners at first and third with 1 out. Stretch by Stafford. Pitch, a fly ball to center field and dropping in for a base hit. Coming in to score is Jim Wynn. Holding his second is Aspromonte. The ball game is tied up. And little Wally Williams jumped on the first pitch. So 3 hits off Bill Stafford here in the top of the 6th inning. And the Colt 45s tie up the score, and here's Walt Barnes. Hit by a pitch ball and struck out. by Stafford. Change up outside, ball one. Runners off first and second. Another change-up swing and a miss. Strike one, 1-1. And what a cut Bond had at that one. He went all the way around and down on home plate. The official paid attendance 2,300. 2,300 here today. Curve hit high in the air to right field. Roger Merritt is coming in. Coming on, shading his eyes, and takes it. 2 away. That'll bring up John Bateman, the catcher. Bateman bounced to short and bounced to third. Stafford's curve hit foul outside of third, strike one. Aspromani at second, Williams at first, leading away. Pitch is lined at deep left field, way back there, and that ball is off the fence. 1 run is in the score. Here comes Williams around third. The throw to the plate is not in time, and 2-run score and a long double by John Bateman off the left center field fence. Boy, he screamed that one. Old Stafford getting touched up here in the 6th inning. And the Colt 45s go out in front 4-2. And Jim Owens is coming out to bat, so he might go another inning. Owens has bounced to second and bounced to third. Curve is low. Last year, Bateman hit his weight. He weighs 210, and that's what he hit, 210. But he had 10 homers and 59 runs batted in. It was his first year in the big league. He was one of the bonus boys signed by the Colt 45. Curve is inside. I might be wrong on that. It might have been his second year. Nope. That was his first year in the big league. Next pitch is a ball, 3 balls, no strikes on Jim Owens. Matter of fact, Bateman led the Colt 45s in home runs with 10 and runs batted in with 59. Next pitch is ball 4 to Owens. Second walk given up by Stafford. And that'll bring up Eddie Casco, the 9th man to bat here in the 6th inning. Casco has struck out, reached on an error, and bounced to third. Surprisingly, Bateman led the Colt 45s in triples with 6. I said he was a bonus boy. He got $74 to sign. Well, it was a bonus, Joe. But I thought he was one of the big bonus boys. That's an unusual bonus, isn't it? $74 to sign a contract. Curve to Casco in there. Strike call. Owens at first, Bateman at second. Pitch, curve outside corner. Strike 2. I started to say outside, but Frank Humont said it nicked the corner. 0-2. 45's 4. And the Yankees 2. The pitch is a fly ball to Kubek at shortstop. Right at him. He's got it. So 9 men came to bat, and for the Colt 45s, 4 runs, 4 hits, No Yankee errors, 2 men left, and at the end of 5.5 innings, it's the Colts 45, 4, the Yankees 2. Who went in a run for Pete Runnels, remains in the ballgame at first base. And Mickey Mantle, who has lined to center and single to right, is up and lines a base hit to center field on the first pitch. Mickey has hit the ball hard each time. Archie Moore goes in a run for Mantle. Archie, the hero of yesterday's ball game, and Mantle gets a nice hand as he comes out.
The game continues at the beginning of side 3.
Moore is at first, running for Mantle. Tom Tresh struck out, flying to left field up there. Takes a pitch outside, ball 1. Moore has impressed Yogi Berra with the short time he's been down here. And he's blowing bubble. He's chewing bubble gum. He's only a youngster. Takes the lead off first. Pitch, ground ball to first. Right through Hoffman's face. Moving to third base is Archie Moore, and holding at first is Tom Tresh. And I imagine that'll be an error charged to Hoffman. It was a bouncing ground ball, and Hoffman's glove just didn't get down far enough. No, they've given him a hit. They've given Tresh a single. Yeah. Ralph out concurs. It's a single. There's a high pop-up to the infield. Third baseman Aspromonte shading his eyes. He's under it. And Blanchett is retired on a high pop fly. One away. And it brings up Hector Lopez. Lopez is 2 for 2. Single to Fox's left, single to right field. Runners at first and third. The Yankees trailing 4 to 2. There's a ground ball hit to third. Aspromonte goes to second for 1. Back to first base. Double play. And the Colt 45s get out of an inning where they looked like they were really in trouble. For the Yankees, no runs, 2 hits, no cold errors, 1 man left. At the end of 6 full innings, it's the Colt 45s 4 and the Yankees 2.
Thank you very much, Bill. Before we do get underway, Tom Metcalf is slowly walking to the mound to replace Bill Stafford, who has been most disappointing in his last couple of outings. And in center field, Archie Moore. Tresh, rather, has gone to center, and Archie Moore is playing left. Moore will bat in Mantel's place. Just want to remind you that the popular Yankee combination plan is still available, with a variety of surprise extras, too. It includes 44 big games on 36 select dates, including 13 Sundays, 21 night games, the July 4th holiday doubleheader, and that'll be with the Twins, and the Gala Welcome Home Yogi opening day program on April 14th. Combination plan ticket holders have the same choice seat locations for each game, plus other privileges. To get your combination plan tickets, or for more information, just write the ticket manager, New York Yankees, Yankee Stadium, the Bronx 51, New York, or phone Cypress 3-4300.
You're in tune to 1460 Radio, WOKO in Albany, New York. A special bulletin. General Douglas MacArthur died this afternoon at 2:39. Keep tuned to this station throughout the afternoon for special information and probably a tribute to General Douglas MacArthur. Once again, General MacArthur died this afternoon at 2:39.
Tom Metcalf now pitching to Nellie Fox. Fly a ball to right field, and it's one-handed by Maris, who lost the ball in the sun momentarily. One away. One down. John Hoffman, who went in a run for Pete Reynolds in the sixth inning, left-hand batter. Tom Metcalf into the windup. Around comes the arm. The pitch swung on. There's a high fly ball into center field. Tresh moves over now toward left center and makes the catch. They're two away. Here's Jim Wynn. Wynn flied to left, struck out, walked, right-hand batter. 4-2 in favor of Houston. The pitch is in there for a called strike. Now the pitch. High and inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Metcalf working rapidly, delivers high and inside. A 2-1 count. 4-2 in favor of Houston. We're in the first half of the 7th inning. And the pitch. It's low, ball 3, 3-1. Three balls, 1 strike. Metcalf's pitch swung on. There's a drive if it stays fair, but it's curving foul and goes out of the ballpark. He really teed off on that one. Had that good sound. Metcalf with a full count on Jim Wynn into the windup, and the pitch. Fastball is swung on and popped up in the air, foul off third. Coming on is Lopez, and he makes the catch. Size retired in order. No runs, no hits, no errors, no one left on. And at the end of 6.5 innings, it is Houston 4, New York 2.
Camel time. It's camel time, camel time.
Leisure time for you.
Camel time is any time when nothing less will do.
Things all seem to brighten up.
Every time you light one up, right now make it camel time. Have a camel cigarette.
The best tobacco makes the best smoke. The exclusive Camel blend of choice quality tobaccos has never been equaled for clean-cut taste, honest enjoyment, easygoing mildness. The best tobacco makes the best smoke.
Right now make it camel time. Have a camel cigarette. Right now make it camel time. Have a camel cigarette.
The 7th inning, 4-2 in favor of Houston. Pedro Gonzalez fouls off the first pitch delivered by Jim Owens, whose uniform shirt is just as wet as it can be. In fact, it almost looks like he has a two-tone color uniform on. The right-hander's delivery swung on, tapped right to the box. Owens tosses over to Hoffman. There's one away. Tom Metcalf has not come out yet. He's the scheduled batter. We are awaiting a Yankee batter. And it will be Metcalf. Jim Owens pitches, swung on. Metcalf hits a hopper to short. Eddie Casco up with it to throw to first in time. 2 away. Blimp flying overhead. And giving free rides to everybody. Kubek looks at a fastball over, strike one. And the next pitch, swung on. There's a high fly ball into right center. And Bond goes over and makes the catch. So the Yankees go up and out. In order. No runs, no hits, no errors, no one left on. At the end of 7 innings of play, Houston 4 runs, 5 hits, 2 errors. Yankees 2 runs, 7 hits, 2 errors. Opening day will be here. Just before you know it, what'll that be, a week from this coming Tuesday? Wow. The Yankees will be at home April 14th for the Red Sox. It'll be a great opening day, a gala welcome Yogi Day, and other dates to remember. The first Sunday of the home season with the Baltimore Orioles, Sunday, April 26th. All Sunday activity, 1:30, whether they be single affairs or double headers. First night game, Friday, May 1st with Washington. First Sunday doubleheader, 1:30, May 3rd with Washington. The innovation of suburban night games, there will be 6. The first one with the Red Sox, Thursday night, June 18th at 6 o'clock. All other night games will start at the usual time of 8. And the big holiday doubleheader, the Yankees and Twins, Saturday, 4th of July, 1:30. And Old Timers Day, a great event. The fans select the living all-time Yankees and living all-time Yankee opponents. Saturday afternoon, August 8th, with the Baltimore Orioles. Now to the 8th inning. Bob Aspromonte comes up. Right-hand hitter. Tom Metcalf into the windup, and the pitch is swung on and fouled back. He grounded it short, had 2 base hits. Next pitch is swung on. A ground ball is short. Kubek charges it. Throws on over to Gonzalez. 1 away. 1 up, 1 down. And now the man Wally Williams, who replaced John Weekly. Single in the 6th inning. Right-hand batter. The pitch is inside at the letters, ball 1. The next pitch, swung on. There's a high fly ball into left field. Archie Moore under it and makes the catch. 2 down. Here's Walt Bond, hit by a pitched ball, struck out, flied to right. We first saw Walt when he came up with the Indians. And in spring training, he looked like he was going to be a whiz. Here's the pitch, changeup. It's in there for a strike, and that's what got him back out of the big leagues, that change of pace. He stands 6'6", and yet weighs only 215. So he's in great shape. High outside for a ball. I'll tell you this, when he gets hold of one, it's off on a good ride. The left-hand batter on the next pitch swings and misses. Boy, did he take a whiff. Wow. The seams of that ball are still burning from the cut he took. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Tom Metcalf to the windup. The pitch is high for a ball. Chuck Taylor has been warming up in the bullpen. No relation to the former Stanford coach of the same name. Four-2 in favor of Houston. It's the 8th inning. And the pitch. Swung on and fouled off. Two men out in the 8th. Colts lead 4-2. Metcalf into the windup. In comes the pitch, and it's a curve low and inside. Full count, 3-2. Three balls, 2 strikes. Metcalf delivers to Bond. Swings and misses. Strike 3. No runs, no hits, no errors, no one left on. And at the end of 7.5 innings, the score, Houston 4. Chuck Taylor has come in to do the pitching now for Houston. Jim Owens turned in a good job in 7 innings, giving up 7 hits and 2 runs, 4 of the hits in the 5th inning. Got out of a big jam in the 6th with runners on 1st and 3rd. Nobody out. And the Yankees did not score. Chuck Taylor from Shelbyville, Tennessee, is 22 years old. He's a 6'2", 180-pounder. Originally signed by the Cardinals. Traded by them to Houston with outfielder Jim Beecham for outfielder Carl Warwick in February. The right-hander now, pitching to Bobby Richardson, takes it for a strike. Maris on deck, and Archie Moore to follow. The next pitch is over. Strike 2. 4-2 in favor of Houston. It's the last half of the 8th inning. And the pitch outside. He throws pretty hard. Now the 1-2 pitch. Swung on and looped out over second, and it is in there for a base hit, dropping in front of Walt Bond and beyond the reach of Nellie Fox. For a looping single by Richardson. And up comes Roger Maris, who grounded out to first, grounded to short, and flied to right. The right-hander to the stretch. The pitch to Raj is low and inside. Ball 1. The Yankees have out-hit the Colts 8-5, but trail 4-2. Quick throw to first. Bobby's back. And the pitch inside for a ball. respect every individual in every town, but I don't remember having run across a town quite like the one that the Colts pitcher lives in right now. Here's a pitch swung on and fouled back out of play. He lives in a town called Belt Buckle. Phil's over on TV right now. Hey, Phil, you know where he lives? Belt Buckle, Tennessee. Here's the pitch, swung on and fouled back. Walter Johnson came from Coffeyville, Kansas. Two balls, two strikes. And the pitch. Swung on a ground ball, hit out by Fox to the right center. Richardson round second, heads to third. Win up to the ball, throws on into Fox, and again the Yankees have runners on first and third, nobody out. Just as they did in the sixth inning, but failed to score off Jim Owens. Archie Moore coming up. He ran for Mantle, who singled in the sixth inning. Four to two, Houston leading. And the pitch. Inside, ball one. He throws pretty hard. Struck out 124 men last year at Tulsa. Walked 68. Now the pitch. Accidentally swung on, hit to the third baseman. The throw has to go to first in time to get Archie Moore. Richardson scored, and Maris went to second. Check swing. It's 4-3 now. One out, and Tom Tresh coming up. Here's the pitch. Curve inside, ball one. Chuck Taylor. In relief of Jim Owens, who gave up 7 hits and 2 runs in 7 innings. Now the pitch. Swung on and popped up foul down the left field line. It's twisting out of play. Again, the stretch. And the pitch. It's up high. A 2-1 count on Tom Tresh. Roger Maris on second, last of the 8th. Colts 4, the Yankees 3. Taylor delivers. Tresh takes it inside. 3-1. Irma breaking pitch. 3 balls, 1 strike. And the delivery. It almost hits Tresh. He had to jump away from the plate. Ball 4. And up comes Johnny Blanchard, who grounded to second, single to center. And then in the 6th inning, with runners on first and third, nobody out, popped up. And we're getting some action in the bullpen. Jim Ray, the right-hander. 1 down, 2 on. And the pitch. Way up high, ball 1. Maris on second, Tresh on first. 1 out in the 8th inning. And the delivery. It's over for a strike. Good fastball. A 1-1 count. 1 out, 2 on, 1 in. Maris on second. Tresh on first. 4-3 Houston, 8th inning. Here's the pitch, and it's inside to Blanchard. A 2-1 count. Two balls, 1 strike. And the pitch. Swung on and popped foul to the right of the plate, and it's out of play. A 2-2 count. Blanchard digs in. Taylor to the stretch. Here's the pitch. Swung on. A bouncer hit down through first into right field. Maris round third comes in to score. On to third goes Stretch. And it's an error for Hoffman that permits the tying run to come in. Hard hit ball hopped through him. Hoffman took over for Runnels at first. He actually is a catcher and may be excused on those grounds. And Hector Lopez comes up. He's had 2 singles and grounded into a double play. 4-4. 1 out in the 8th inning. And the pitch. Swung on and fouled off. The ball hit the top of the mask of the catcher, Johnny Bateman. And then spun off and hit the chest protector of the umpire. Runners on first and third, and the pitch. Swung on and line out into center field for a base hit. Blanchard stops at second as Tresh comes in to score the lead run. Hector Lopez produces his 3rd hit of the game. Three runs in this inning, and the Yankees are out in front, 5-4. Blanchard on second, Lopez on first, and Pedro Gonzalez up. Fly to center, grounded to third, and hit to the box. Chuck Taylor's pitch. Little high, ball 1. One ball, no strikes. And the next pitch is low and inside, ball 2. Our game tomorrow will be heard just on FM. No, wait a minute, that's right, AM and FM because it's a night game. And the Los Angeles Dodgers will be playing the Yankees here. So be sure and tune in, 7:55. Right where you are right now. Here's the pitch, swung on and popped foul. And the ball's over near the Yankee dugout, out of play. Regardless of the outcome of this game, I think the real story today is the second successive failure of Bill Stafford. Here's the pitch. Swung on and fouled back. It was expected that Bill might route somebody out of the starting four rotation this year after his slump last season. He got down to good weight. He looked good in the earlier games. Last couple of outings, he's been tagged. Chuck Taylor into the stretch. And the pitch. Swung on and fouled off. That's what spring training, of course, is for, to find out where certain strengths and weaknesses lie. Some you can anticipate ahead of time, some you cannot. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. And the pitch. Swung on and lined into center field for a base hit. Blanchard rounds third. He comes on in to score. And the cutoff play. And they've got Lopez trapped as the first baseman Hoffman cut the ball off. Hector dived back into second. Lopez, who hit the ball, got down to second base. But the runner, before he was tagged out by Aspromonte, who took the throw from the first baseman from the cutoff position, the base runner is entitled to return to the base he last held in order to avoid being put out, and therefore Lopez was safe, and they tagged Gonzalez, and Gonzalez, who got the hit and drove in the run, is out. Here's Tom Metcalf. So the play went from Wynn, the center fielder, to Hoffman, the first baseman, to Aspromonte, the third baseman.
You're tuned to 1460 Radio, WOKO, in Albany, New York.
Was 2 down. Takes the strike. You're not allowed to run the bases in reverse order to make a travesty of the game, but in order to regain possession, to avoid being put out, you're allowed to. Here's the pitch, and it's in there for a strike. Thus, when 2 men wind up on the base, as they did there, the man entitled to it is the man who had it. He got back there before he was tagged out. Now the pitch, outside. Had Gonzalez been just a little bit more alert in the situation, he wasn't certain whether Lopez was tagged out before he touched the base or not, which is probably the reason. He could have taken off and gone back toward first and gotten the chase there. Seen that happen and a ball thrown away. Here's the pitch. Swung on, bounced out to short. Casco up with it over to Hoffman in time, and the side is retired. So the Yankees came up with 4 runs, 4 hits, 1 error for the Colts, and 1 Yankee left on. At the end of 8 innings, the Yankees 6, the Colts 4.
The game continues at the beginning of side 4 after a short delay.
At the end of 8 innings, the Yankees 6, the Colts 4.
You get a smile every time with a Valentine.
Wow, what a beer, that Valentine.
You get a smile every time with a Valentine.
Wow, what a beer, that Valentine. Beer after beer.
Most refreshing around. Won't fill you up, won't let you down. You get a smile every time. With a Valentine, get a smile every time. Make it Valentine beer.
When the gang gets together, you get the Valentine. Always be sure to have plenty of Valentine beer on hand.
So get a smile every time. Make it Valentine beer.
Wow, wow, beer.
We pause for station identification.
This is WOKO in Albany, New York.
In the first half of the ninth inning, Johnny Bateman leads off for the Colts. 1 out of 3, popped a short, grounded to third, and then slammed a terrific 2-run double to left in the 6th inning. Off Bill Stafford, who worked only the 1 inning, gave up 4 of the Colts' 5 hits and all their runs. Tom Metcalf, who came on in the 7th inning, into the windup and the pitch. Swung on and missed. Strike 1. There will be a pinch hitter for Taylor. Ernie Fazio. Tom Metcalf into the windup. In comes the pitch, and it's right over. Strike 2. The pitch. There's a smash to short into the hole. Kubek throws high. First baseman. Fazio continues, Bateman on to second. Tony had to go way over into the hole to grab that ball and then overthrew Gonzalez. So we'll see whether they call it a base hit and an error or an error all the way. Probably an error all the way. Now Fazio comes up to hit for Taylor. Eddie Casco on deck. Metcalf's pitch. Swung on and fouled back. Fazio was with the Colts last year. Little fella, wide. Jim Ray in the bullpen for the Twins. Not for the Colts, excuse me. Here's the pitch. High and inside. Ball 1, 1-1. Metcalf's next pitch. Swung on. There's a looping fly ball into short center. Coming on fast is Tresh to make the catch. Looked for a moment as if it might drop for Texas League single, but Tom got a good jump on it. Eddie Casco struck out, safe on an error by Yankee third baseman Hector Lopez, playing third base for the first time in 2 years today. Grounded to third and popped to short. Casco is a determined ball player. The pitch is high and inside, ball 1. He's a New Jersey boy. Makes his home now in Richmond. played against the Yankees in the last Yankee-Cincinnati World Series. The pitch swung on. There's a high fly ball in the left center. Archie Moore goes over and makes the catch. And 2 away. And up comes Nelson Jacob Fox. It's over for a strike. A 1-1 count. Johnny Hoffman on deck. Metcalf's delivery swung on as the ground ball hit to short. Long throw necessary, and it is in time. 2 back to Gonzalez. And that ends the ball game. No runs, no hits, 1 error, 1 left on. I'll be back in a minute with the totals and highlights.
Camel time. It's camel time. Camel time.
It's leisure time for you.
Camel time is any time when nothing less will do.
Things are free to brighten up.
Every time you light one up, right now make it camel time. Have a camel cigarette.
The best tobacco makes the best smoke. The exclusive Camel blend of choice quality tobaccos has never been equaled for clean-cut taste, honest enjoyment, easygoing mildness. The best tobacco makes the best smoke.
Right now make it camel time. Have a camel cigarette. Right now make it camel time. Have a camel cigarette.
It was a game that, outside of the score, which is relatively unimportant in spring training, but what was important from the standpoint of the Yankees was the fact that Yogi Berra now has a problem with a season to open within a week. One of the men he was counting on most was Bill Stafford, who was brilliant until last year, and he had an off season. But in his last 2 outings, Stafford has not been the old Stafford, although even going into today's game, he had pitched 11 innings, given up 9 hits and 3 runs. All of them earned, walked 4, struck out 7, and had an earned run average of 2.45, but he didn't look too good in his last outing. And today, well, he just worked 1 inning, and that Yogi had seen all he wanted to see for the day, because he gave up 4 runs and 4 hits in the 6th inning after the Yankees had finally solved the excellent but sometimes troublesome to a ball club Jim Owens for 2 runs. But on the other side of the picture was Bud Daly, who in 4 previous attempts to prove to the skipper that his arm has come around and that he can be of service to the Yankees, had pitched 13 innings, allowed 11 hits, 4 runs, all of them earned. Walked 8, struck out 3 for a 2.08 average, which wasn't too bad. And today, Bud Daly gave up 1 hit in 5 innings, no runs. His control was good. And then in the 6th inning, Stafford came on. And that's when the Colts got going with 1 out. A single, a walk, 2 more singles, and then with 2 outs, Bateman was the fellow that supplied the big blow, a double to left center. And there were 4 runs home. So that overcame the Yankees' 2-run lead, built up in the 5th inning off Jim Owens, who pitched pretty good ball himself, who gave up 7 hits and 2 runs in 7 innings. Blanchard and Lopez had singled. There was a force out at second, and Blanchard did come on home. And then there was an error that added to the scoring. Kubek and Richardson added singles in the inning. And in the 8th inning, singles by Richardson and Maris, an infield out, a walk to Tresh, and an error by Hoffman, a catcher playing first base today. And one of 3 base hits by Lopez, and the single by Gonzalez, who played first base. There were a lot of men out of position. And the total is the Yankees 6 runs, 11 hits, 3 errors, 4 runs, 5 hits, and 3 errors for the Houston Colts. The winning pitcher is Tom Metcalf, and the losing pitcher is Chuck Taylor.
Well, that winds up another Atlantic baseball broadcast. Like all Yankee broadcasts, this one came to you by courtesy of P. Valentine and Sons, the R.J. Reynolds Tobacco Company, and the Atlantic Refining Company. Sure hope you've enjoyed this game and hope you'll remember to tune in our next broadcast. This is the Home of Champions Network.